Hello, good afternoon. It is us.
I'm back.
Charlotte is back. She's here.
Who's surprised that I actually returned?
Why? What happened?
I got bullied last week.
Who
didn't
bullied you? That feels like I should get a solicitor involved. It really does. You just said that live. You just said that live on YouTube. If that was like just
Who's on it right now?
If that was like a private conversation, I'd fully understand. But you've just said that to the world. You've just told
the world is watching right
everybody
now.
how well the world could watch.
They already saw it last week.
They no one said anything. They were pretty much like, that's just a great conversation.
Okay.
That's just a great conversation. Let's not talk about such things and let's talk about other things, Charlotte. Positive things.
Okay.
Everton women. I mean, is that a positive thing?
Yeah, it is a positive thing. They're making history, you know?
Surely making history is winning games of football.
No, being the first ever women to play at a stadium is making history.
Okay.
Were they very good at it? They weren't great.
No.
But the fact that we've gone from playing at like pitches in the middle of like school grounds and stuff, and now we're able to play at like Premier League amazing size stadiums in the space of like 50 years. That's pretty impressive. It's taken men decades and hundreds of years to get to this point.
It's not quite hundreds of years though, is it? Come on. Come on.
Well, you played on like deserts and stuff and like kicking around rocks. Yeah. When we were like in the cave, like preparing the meals kind of thing. So
we don't have any proof that that's how society worked back then. For all we know, the women went out and they beat the things over the head, and it was the men who stayed at home and made the food. You can't make those sweeping statements.
Assumptions, because I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
That's
got
fair
no
enough.
proof. All we found was we didn't find skeletons with the lady skeleton holding
like
a ladle or something, did we? So
what I'm saying is that I think it's impressive that, you know, considering that women's football was banned and was like allowed in the 70s again, from 1970 to 2025. In that space of time, we've been able to reach such a high level. It's very impressive through the use of like social media.
Although social media, no beds this weekend.
Why?
Because Instagram banned the Hair Game 2, kicked off Hair Game 2 off Instagram, like deleted the account.
Oh,
you should know about this.
I know.
How do you not know about this?
I don't know.
You're in there. You should.
I know. That's bizarre. I'm so surprised.
Well, you should be working hard to
disappointed.
campaign.
I've just been so busy researching players from the 60s that I've just completely forgotten to focus on like
very much so
what's actually important and relevant to me and people this generation.
I think a lot of people still are champion winners of World Cups.
Yeah.
Let's just. So, I mean, it was a big occasion. Unfortunately, Everton women have I'm not going to say they've let themselves down, more let their families down and the football club. Before we talk about, they got me 4-1. Come on. No, we should, if we're going to have standards, we should be like, any Everton team getting beat 4-1 is not a good look.
Yeah.
Is not a good look, is it? Mm-hmm. So what was it like? Obviously, you've been to men's games there. Yep. So what was it like? Was the atmosphere different? The vibe different? The age different? Was it full of girls, or was there a good mix?
I'd say there was a good mix, but it was heavily like family orientated, like centered around like children. They're like magicians and why is that funny?
Because it is. Magicians of football. No place for magicians of football.
They were like making balloon animals, and they were like popcorn carts and candy floss carts. But my main complaint was a lot of the facilities were shut.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And when you've got so many kids at half time, all they want is like a Pepsi and and candy floss and stuff. So the queues were just ridiculous. And a lot of the toilets were like shut as well. Like they had bins on top of toilets, so you couldn't use them. And so the queues for toilets were really long. And I get like there was only 18,000 people, but that's still a lot.
That's massive.
That's
massive.
still a lot. Compared to obviously the turnout that you get for a men's game. I think they just completely miscalculated. You know, the facilities that were needed, like kids need to go to the toilet at half time, so everyone's going to go. And it was just not poorly organised, but it could have been handled better.
No, I mean, you make a good point. Like, it might sound stupid to people who are watching. And I know it does. But magicians and like kids, right? My niece went to the Crystal Palace game. So she's 7, right?
Okay. Yeah.
She wanted to go. It was a daddy-daughter day. She wanted to go to the match.
Yep.
And she got there, and my dad's there, her granddad obviously, and he treats her to anything she wants. She gets the donut, she gets all the chicken and chips, everything she wants. But that novelty wears off. Yeah. And she wanted to go home at half time. She had an iPad, she had her ear defenders, the lot, but she still wanted to go home at half time because she's bored. Because actually she's there for all the other stuff. Yeah. And once the football starts, gets a bit boring then. So I can fully understand why you've got all those other things at the game. Yeah. While there's kids there. Football is like, it's an exciting thing going the game. But once you sit down and the game starts, it becomes less interesting for children, especially with attention spans. Yeah. So you do need other stuff. And anyone who's like thinks that's funny, that is reality. Kids, especially kids now, and some young adults with TikTok and everything else, attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So I fully get that. So Everton doing all that, because we've got to attract, whether it's the women's team or the men's team, we have to attract the next generation of football fans to go the game. So that stuff is massively important.
And like, as much as certain fans don't want to hear it, but with the England women's team doing so well, most kids want to watch the women's England team over the men's because they do better in the like cup games and stuff. And so it does encourage kids to watch more women's football. Whereas like people naturally do just go towards men's football because their dad's got them into it. That's how I got into men's football, because my dad was into it. Not because I was like, oh, I want to watch men's football. If I had the access to women's football at a younger age, I would have gone to a women's match first before a men's match. Yeah. So it makes sense.
It does make sense. And of course, what you've just said's like interesting, because there'll be loads of kids from the summer who'll have memories of, like, we all grew up. I grew up in an era where I was very lucky. We had Everton were getting to trophies, winning trophies and getting to cup finals. I remember all of those days. I remember everything that went round it. I remember we used to dress our windows. Everyone used to dress their windows. You'd have, there'd be so much everywhere. Like we've seen it. We've seen the other side of it. We've seen what happens when they win. So we see all the flags and everything and going into town and all this. Yeah, when we were kids, you get cakes from Sayers. I don't know if you remember Sayers or not. It was like our Greggs back in the day. Yeah. And they do special cup final cakes and everything. And you remember those occasions. And I imagine there's loads of kids this summer that will have those memories of England's women winning something. Because whether they put too much stock in who it was who won it, they'll have memories attached to them. There might have been a little party or a ski party, depending on where you are. And they're the things that, when you're a kid, you remember those, because you remember there was something going on, a celebration, and you remember you got cake out of it. Yeah. And they are powerful memories. No, but they are, though. They are genuinely powerful memories. When you're a kid,
I relate to it. Yeah.
When you're a kid, you remember birthday parties because of all the sugar you got given. You remember, like, that's a special day when you're a kid. You don't remember every other day. And it's the same for that. So you're right, kids will grow up and they'll be like...
I remember going to that Everton match where I got candy floss and popcorn. You didn't have that at the first match at Hill Dickinson, against Brighton for the men's team. Because it is just being more aimed towards kids and families. Yeah,
so that is, and I think, whether, we get, I look at the comments, I see if we're talking about men's and the women's and stuff like that. I understand people. There is a weird thing that I'll never quite understand of why people judge women's football, and I think we spoke about this before, so it's on the same level as men's football, instead of just saying it's its own thing. It's its own thing. You don't watch the Olympics and go, why isn't she running as fast as a man?
Yeah.
In another, you never do that. You just watch it and go, wow, this is a great race, or it's a great. You watch the heptathlon and go, well, this is amazing. You don't go, usually not as good as the men's decathlon. You know what I mean? So it's really important. So I'm glad the attendance was so good. I'm glad so many kids got to go and enjoy the day. The football, half of them might even ever remember what the scoreline was.
Yeah.
They might just remember seeing an Everton player score and everything else just fades into the background. But I bet they remember getting like popcorn or all that other stuff. So that is massively important. It's just the same, like you said, that it was let down by maybe like,
when you get there and there's all the carts outside and like the bar and everything, all of that was shut.
Yeah.
A load of the like chicken shops inside were shut. I think there was only one open. My brother had to walk like all the way around to get to one that was open. And like I said, obviously there were less people there, but it was just, the facilities just weren't giving, really.
Yeah. It's a shame that, because when you look at like, so obviously Arsenal play Highbury, don't they? Highbury, show me age. Emirates quite often.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they seem to just get it right all the time. I know that's they get like big, and it's the same with Goodison, isn't it? I mean, we've got Goodison now, and I'm sure. How did it compare to Goodison this season? Going obviously for the women's games.
Obviously there were a lot more people there. Like that's 100% guarantee, and there were more away fans.
Yeah, because a lot of people took it as a chance.
To see Hill Dickinson. Like the Man United the away fan bit was completely full, and there were also Man United fans like dotted around as well. Whereas at Goodison, there's not as many away fans. So yeah, it was really good, and the atmosphere was good in the first half. But at Goodison, it's got a really good atmosphere as well. There's a woman who goes with her drum to every match.
She was at that Hill Dickinson
I know.
as well.
She brought her drum. She managed to get her drum.
I'm sure
I could hear her. I was like,
I'm sure she's part of like the fan club or something.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, there's a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean that's all. What was obviously what was it like being? Because obviously James was there and I saw a bit of it, but there was 18,000 there. But because of the size of the stadium, it still looks, obviously the top bits weren't.
The bottom, the like lower stand was like almost full. It felt to me. It wasn't full, obviously.
But would you like to have seen maybe instead of people spread out, would you like to have seen maybe people just like be
all on
just
one
behind
side?
the goal or whatever, just to try and concentrate that noise also? Or would that have looked stupid having more empty sides?
Well, that's kind of what they're doing at Goodison.
Yeah.
Is they're all compacting it into like one like half. Do you get what I mean? So that's what they do at Goodison. I guess it kind of works. But I enjoyed it at Hill Dickinson, and obviously it was a lot more accessible because a lot more tickets were sold. But I think if they had done that, the facilities would have been even worse. Yeah. Because you would have had that same amount of people
kids are not gonna
all
walk.
going to, exactly.
Yeah, kids that's the difference, isn't it? Kids are not going to walk round to the other side of the ground.
To go to the
toilet.
toilet.
It just seems a shame that I've had a couple of messages saying, again, just people saying there was an issue with the stuff you're talking about, but why it happened. I mean, I can't confirm any of those things, so it's not really, can't really bring them up as much, but it does feel like, like they should have done, just for the sake of like, I don't know, getting a few extra people to work. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's just a little bit silly. And the prices, of course, were the same as going the men's game, which again is a bit.
It was my brother's first time going to the match, and he was like, I can't believe how expensive everything is. So like the tiny little portion of chicken and chips was £12, and he was like, that's outrageous. A sausage roll was like £9 or something.
Yeah, and they're not even nice.
Oh, my dad loved it.
Oh, I
Oh my
didn't.
gosh, my dad loved
Maybe it's
his
different now.
down.
I had one in one of the test events and I found it quite greasy and it had like a weird mustard sauce on it.
Well, yeah,
repeated on me for about 3 weeks. It really did. Every day was like mustard.
But and obviously the actual game itself was
Terrible.
just there were players who showed like real promise, but compared to Man United, it was such a shame because obviously the build up to it was like so big. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like everyone still feels like they don't know where to play and they don't know where they fit in the squad because there are so many new signings. Like, I think most of our new players like started, and they're all still finding where they fit in the squad. And you'd think by now they'd know. And I don't think it's their fault. I think it's the manager's
No, I think the
problem.
manager will be. Well, just before we move on to that, I was just going to say as well, it slightly disappoints me the pricing as well from the weekend because I feel like if people had been to the Goodison games, might have been an expectation of what they were going to pay, and they might have held off getting something to eat because it's a lot easier again to take kids into the stadium rather than going somewhere else and then taking them in. It's easier to just go in the stadium and go, right, we're going to get something to eat in the stadium, and then they're faced with those prices, and I just feel like. I'm not a fan of those. Like I've already said quite openly, and I'm not going to buy food in the stadium. It's too expensive. I think it's the only way Everton and Armagh are going to bring prices down if people aren't going to pay them. But of course, people do pay them because especially with kids. And as I said, when my niece went last week,
she got whatever
she got whatever she wanted effectively, and my dad probably ended up spending about 50 quid on it.
Yeah.
She got what she wanted because that's what happens with kids. But for me, I went to Costco on Saturday and got a Costco card because I'm going to start going for something to eat in Costco.
Yeah.
Because the difference in the prices is just night and day.
Yeah.
And it's a point of principle for me as well. I find those prices just disgusting.
Yeah.
I really do. So to have them in the women's match when the prices at Goodison are.
And the fact that the tickets were £12 and £6, I guess you do get in your head like, oh, it's supposed to be like an affordable day out. I wanted to do like a budget breakdown of why you should go to women's matches because it is so accessible. It is so like the prices are so like affordable for people. But as I was filming, I was like, I'm actually spending a fortune here because my brother got chicken and chips, my dad got a sausage roll, they were getting drinks, and they spent like 40 quid on food and drinks. Like,
well, just on that, you went to the Manchester City game quite recently. You went to City's women's ground in the Etihad campus. What was that like compared to like even Goodison? What were the prices like there, and how much was that to get in?
To be honest, I am so broke at the moment. Like I get there, and I just enjoy where I am.
You find puddles just to lick.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't buy anything. I think they had like little cafe like kiosk things where you could get like a hot chocolate for like $2.50 or something. But that. I didn't really pay any attention. I very rarely buy stuff because I don't have the money. I still haven't got that corset top. So
no, I wouldn't yet. I mean, that is like saying you can't buy a cup of tea to jump into a £250 corset top.
It's £220.
Oh, so did they bring it down? Did they?
No, it's £220. That is the price of them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. No, that would be interesting. It'd be interesting to know what like people pay when they go to Emirates to watch women's football, if that's any different.
I think they are like the fans for Arsenal are way bigger because Arsenal women's I'd say is probably the biggest club. Them and like Chelsea.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's just but whether they milk that or whether they do the right thing and don't charge them a fortune.
I think they'll probably milk it.
I don't know though, because some clubs. There's a lot of obviously like community. A lot of they understand the community and you want the people there. You don't want to upset them. You want them to come back. If the prices are silly, it's one of the reasons why the prices at Goodison are probably so cheap.
Yeah,
they want people to go to those games because they need it to work. They've kept Goodison. They need people to go to those women's games. They can't have it dropping to like 2,500 like they were at Walton Park, and they need the novelty fans to go. They need people to go who are only there because they want to take in Goodison, or they want their kids to take in Goodison. You want to keep those people, and you're not going to keep them if you're charging £6.50 a donut. It's just not going to happen. Whereas I suppose at Hill Dickinson, it was a complete one-off. So, but just going back to the football, I'm surprised they haven't sacked the manager already.
So obviously we've got Nottingham Forest on Sunday. If we lose that, I think he's gone.
Yeah, I do.
Like, we should be winning that, especially at Goodison. We should be winning that.
They second tier.
What?
A Forest second tier.
Yeah, they're not in the W. Yeah. We should be winning that.
That's a cup game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared to get anything wrong, because
you're supposed to be the knowledge. You're the expert here.
I know, but every time I say anything, it feels like, oh, are you sure? Are you sure about that? So I'm always a bit like hesitant.
That's live. That's live.
Sixth in the WSL 2.
That's live.
Not even that good.
Yeah. Okay. Whew. Okay. Yeah. No. So we should beat them. Touch wood. I kind of knew that we were going to lose against Man United.
Yeah.
When it got to 2-1, I was like, cool, we're just going to play completely defensively. We're just going to, we're not going to even try and push forward. To be honest, we should have done that when we equalised. Obviously, we brought on Gagu and Payne to try and push forwards a bit more, but I just think that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think Sorensen just... he just made defensive changes far too late in the game.
Did he bring on 2 centre-backs when they were losing?
Yeah.
I think he'll get sacked, because I just can't see. It's not even, it's a point of principle. It's like, you've got to get people to come to these games, and you're losing games of football. You've lost the first game of Hill Dickinson. First competitive game of Hill Dickinson has been lost by the women's team.
And you've lost the first game at Goodison Park.
Lost both games at Goodison Park,
yeah.
and you're trying to attract people to come to Goodison Park.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look for the owners. And I think,
no, that's it. That's what I mean. I think the owners made such a big investment in getting Goodison. And I think Sorensen has been so good for the club, but now we're moving on to bigger signings, bigger stadium, and he's just not capable of managing it. No, he's not.
Does not seem like
it. Just feels like he's out of his depths, and it's so frustrating to see. And like, it was so frustrating, that match, and like so disheartening, because all I had done last week was convince people to go to the match. Like, I posted on TikTok about like my match day vlog, and so many of the comments were like, oh, I only went because of your videos. I'm actually a Man United fan. I took my son to see Hill Dickinson, and it was a great day for us. And I was like, that's nice.
Yeah, piss off.
But yeah,
that's what you were thinking.
It was really frustrating, because all I want to do is be like an advocate for like women's football and Everton women's. And I just feel like, what's the point if we keep losing games?
Yeah, but I've been thinking that for like 25 years for the men's team, so.
But the women's team have to try 10 times harder
I
get in the public eye, to get the same amount of attention.
No.
I get so much hate for supporting Everton women's. They're like, oh, but you're doing so badly. Everton men's were like in relegation zone for ages, and you all supported them, and you're judging me for supporting Everton women's. So frustrating. It's so like one-sided, like single-minded bigotry, and I'm not here for it.
Emphasis on the B.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like the B there. Boom.
I just, I'm
Boom. Drop it.
diction.
You've been told, bitches.
Bitches.
Josh Oldfield says, afternoon, guys. I don't know how Charlotte's going to take that, but she's all right with being called a guy, I don't know. But he also says, Charlotte, I thought you did a mega job last week interviewing the players from the women's team. Shame about the second half display, though. So you got to go to, well, not only did you interview a couple of players here, but you got to go to Hill Dickinson on Thursday.
Yeah.
And you got to speak to some players. What was that experience like?
It was good. It was really good. I got to interview Claire Wheeler, who's our captain at the moment, and Emily Ramsey, who is our like starting goalie at the moment. she was actually given like player of the match by like Everton fan clubs and stuff. And I just think that goes to show like when the goalie is a player of the match.
Yeah, it's not good.
How the
It's never a
match
good
went.
look.
No.
It's never a good look.
Yeah, and I actually think she did a really good job. A really good job. I mean, considering the volume of shots that were going in from the calibre of players, I think she held off for a good amount of time.
It's hard, isn't it, when you get before 1 to find like, you know, little positives.
Little wins. We
but-
scored in the 15th minute.
Yeah.
Two of them were very jammy that you can see.
Yeah, it was.
Then the last one was a bit of a screamer, and I can't remember the first.
No, the last one was the own goal, I thought. Or was that the
last
third one?
It was like they're on the edge of the box and anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an own goal. I swear. Maybe I'm
No.
getting confused. I can't remember. I've tried to block it out as much as
One
possible.
was a deflection, wasn't it? And then the last one was a decent one.
It just sounds like neither of you know. They're like used to it after the game.
Honestly, do you want to know what I was doing most of the match?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good look though
I
when
was doing that.
you're like covering the game.
And when I'm supposed to be promoting them. Yeah, but why would I want to watch them play like that? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It
but
just...
if you can't take them at their worst, then you can't have them at their best.
I was taking them at the
No,
worst.
no.
I was there watching.
If you can't do
But
that.
I thought Ruby Mace had a really good performance. I thought Mamiki had a good performance. I thought Hayashi had a good performance. And I thought Ramsey held off for as much as she could. That's all I've got
enough.
to say. And I thought Pacheco thinks she should be starting. And I thought she was really good for the, like, I think she was only on for like 15 minutes.
Good shot, though.
Yeah, she had a good shot, but... And I think Robinson is more of a defensive, like midfield. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like you shouldn't be starting with her. And she's so fast as well. I think she's a good player to bring on when you're already up.
I've heard loads of complaints from people who watch Everton women regularly about him playing players out of position.
Yeah.
Quite often I've
Yeah.
heard that, which is a bit weird. I don't understand.
He's got Ornella starting at the front by herself.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's where she naturally wants to play.
I don't think they signed her as a centre forward.
No, and she naturally falls back.
Yeah, so they don't have
And
it.
she does really well. Like you saw her against Liverpool. She was doing these incredible runs just by herself.
But because she had a centre forward off her, up front, is that why?
Yeah, no, to be fair, Liverpool were just
Well, Liverpool
terrible
are
at
rubbish.
it. yeah.
There's one little blessing is Liverpool are terrible as
But
well.
the thing with Ornella, she's not the kind of striker where like she's there when she's supposed to be there to just get it in the net. Do you get what I'm trying to say? She's more. You can tell she wants to be more in the action in the centre, like rather than just being a striker, being by herself. Yeah. And I felt like when we brought on Payne, our number 9, the whole time she was just offside. I was just like screaming, Payne, get on side, like all I was doing.
No, and you'll be getting yourself bad.
Why?
Because you will be.
So you see, I'm not allowed to say anything. I'm not allowed to say anything at matches now. I told Njai to turn, and I told Payne to get on side.
Fair enough. Yeah, Courtney Brosnan is injured. I think she's done it. She's done her ACL.
Yeah, she's in like a full leg brace.
Yeah, I think she's done her ACL, which is not good.
No, but I think Emily Ramsey is doing.
They got her from Man United, didn't he? She did really well when she came in. And, yeah, so now she's got an opportunity. Yeah, it was the third like event that happened over the weekend. There was the sleep out.
Yeah.
And then there was the 10K run, which obviously I did. And then there was the women's game. So
busy weekend for Hill Dickinson.
But that's it. But that's the point, isn't it? It's that we need more of these things, don't we? Hill Dickinson, obviously next month there's a rugby league Ashes test.
Yes.
Which will be played.
Is it England, Australia?
England, Australia, yeah. So what? I mean, this is a really silly question in many ways because you could answer this but what would you like to see at Hill Dickinson or you know, what would you like to see more of?
Well, I believe that Hill Dickinson is now where like concerts are going to be held. Like it's above Anfield, isn't it?
No, I don't think it's above Anfield.
It is. It is. That's the new where concerts are going to be held.
By who decreed this?
Like I swear it was in the Echo or something. Why is that funny?
Because
Wait, is it not above Anfield? I thought it was.
It is.
I thought Anfield because it's like the middle of nowhere essentially.
Right. Well, who says it? Who says though? Who makes
Mr.
that?
Event Booker.
There's no such person as Mr.
Like the council.
The
Do
council?
they do that?
No,
Yeah, I swear they do.
they don't.
Right. Are you in charge?
Right.
Are you in charge
Okay.
of concerts?
Let me just tell you how
Didn't you go Taylor Swift at
things
Anfield?
work. Right. So number one, Liverpool has a higher attendance.
Is that including though?
Yes.
Where the stage goes and
Yes.
stuff? Yeah.
Yes. Because what you lose for a stand, you make up for on the ground. So Liverpool will have a higher attendance, but also it depends. Like you just said there, it's who books the concerts. So if Liverpool have already got a deal with somebody or whatever, then it's who offers a better deal. So Liverpool might go, Everton might go, oh yeah, there's all this money. And then Liverpool might go, oh no, we'll give you this better deal. And it really will come down to who. There's no hierarchy. The council will give equal spots to book it to like 3 or 4 spots a year in the summer.
Yeah.
And it will be equal, and it will be up to who books it. It doesn't.
I was
Everton-
pretty sure that Hill Dickinson is now the venue for
Who
concerts.
decreed that though? Did a man pull a sword out of a
Why
stone?
would it be a man?
Because they know where the sword is and the stone.
Why wouldn't a woman?
Because
No.
they're too busy doing more important things.
They're the performers. Taylor
See
Swift.
what I did there? See what I did there?
I'm gonna actually research this.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you going to research this? Where
gonna
is said research?
I'm gonna speak to people
Yeah.
who know what's going on.
Hill Dickinson will probably be more attractive to people who want to go to gigs because it means they don't have to go to an area that is residential. So it'd be easy. There's a train line a lot
Yeah.
closer. There's Everton can use the plaza. It all simply comes down to who offers better terms. Like some concerts will be like the performer gets all of the gate, but the stadium gets all of the everything that's sold inside. There's all kinds of different ways they do it. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens for next summer but I think Liverpool have already announced the first gig for next year. I think it's My Chemical Romance.
Right.
So they're already 1-0 up.
Okay.
So we need to.
To be honest, I don't really care. I just thought that
I
was
do, I
already
care.
like a known. I thought that was already like, oh, Hill Dickinson is now where concerts are going to be held. But maybe I've just made that up.
No, there's Hill Dickinson could easily attract the best stars and the biggest stars in the world. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
There just isn't like this hierarchy. No one can tell Anfield that they can't have concerts anymore. They will be given equal amount of concerts each, which I think is about 3 or 4, because obviously there's only a very small time to do it. That's why like Anfield, it's like 1 in, 1 out straight away. It's only done when you think about it, over the space of like 2 or 3 weeks, because there's only enough time in the summer and also for the pitch and everything. So it will be really interesting to see what caliber of people. Hopefully Everton can attract the best, because it's all money that goes into the football club and goes into the the owners and whichever way they do it. But it would be really good to get the best ones though. But what about something like an England women's game being played there? That would be massively important, I think, to attract, whether it's men's football or women's football, international games back to Merseyside, because it's been a very long time.
I think there's one at Etihad.
Yeah.
Isn't
There's
it
one
getting used for the Euros?
It's getting used for the men's Euros, yeah. Yeah, it's getting used for the men's Euros in 2028. But obviously that's 2.5 years away, or just over 2.5 years away. So it'd be really good to have some kind of, not only men's, but also women's, to try and start that feeling of getting people in, whether they're Everton fans, Liverpool fans, Manchester United fans, because I think that's a really important thing, to make sure that we're getting these games.
I've just been sent a message by John.
Yeah.
And he said, Paul Gregg said when interviewed on Toffee TV that promoters don't like Anfield and that the new stadium should attract all the biggest names.
I'll believe it when I see it.
That's straight from the source of John.
Big boss man.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it. It doesn't really matter what anyone says. It's what cash gets put on the table. It's as simple as that. So we want the best. We want those concerts. We want things happening every month. So hopefully, you know, if Everton now that Everton women have played there, hopefully this could attract like the Lionesses to play, and hopefully you'd like to think. I don't know what kind of crowds. Obviously, when they play at Wembley and it's like in a tournament, it's obviously a full house. Have they played? I can't actually remember the Lionesses playing away from Wembley. That's a good question.
They have.
Have they?
They played at the Annex and
Did they,
in Brighton. Yeah. Why is my mind gone blank? No, but they have played. I don't think they played at like Anfield or anything.
No.
And I think they're set to play at Etihad. They're set to play in Derby. That was the only day that I could make
that
it.
was so much disdain.
No, but like, don't you think that's random?
Derby had women's games They had men's international games about 30 years ago, but that's when it was just built, and it was like a little tour when Wembley was getting built. I think maybe it might just be to do with getting football and women's football to different parts of the country.
Yeah, which is great. Just I don't want to go Derby to watch the women's, but that was the only one I could make. So I was like,
Do you reckon
gutted.
they'd use Goodison though as well?
No. Why would they use Goodison?
If it's now a women's stadium and they've done like international games there before,
No.
like in the 21s and that.
Well, now it's like the biggest stadium solely dedicated to women's football.
No.
So that kind of puts like a label on it.
Why no?
No. Because it's not.
I guess because the upstairs it's not
fit
finished.
for purpose. You've already told me half the seats have been ripped out. It's not. No. If women's games are going to be played on Merseyside, they have to be played at Hill Dickinson. That's just as simple as that. That's a financial thing. You don't. Why would you? No. Sorry, no, not for me. Not for me. This is a no from me. But it has to be the best. Well, it has to be the best place, doesn't it? We're not going back in time. We're going forward in time.
No, but if it's a stadium that's solely dedicated to women's, then why would the best women's stuff not go there?
James, come on, be serious. Come on,
Well,
be
obviously
serious.
the whole like
Be
top
serious,
level is like
James.
taken
That's just the
out.
seats covered, isn't it?
Be serious,
The seats are still
James.
there.
No,
Come on.
I swear they've taken the seats out.
Why?
Haven't they? Maybe I'm wrong.
The women,
I just
England
thought-
I
women
thought
wouldn't
they've
have played
taken
at
them out,
Goodison.
and that's why all the numbers are mixed up.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
England women wouldn't have played at Goodison when our men's team was there. Never mind
Why
anyone else, because it's not fit for purpose.
The under 21s played there.
Goodison Park is not fit for purpose.
Under 21s England team played there, so why would they play there if they wouldn't trust the men's there? Pele played there. That's all.
Do you think it'd be a good look if the women's European champions played at Goodison Park? Really, when there's Hill Dickinson down the road? Come on,
No, but I can understand why they would.
why would they?
Because it's now the biggest women's stadium.
I know, but it's also gone well past its day. Well past its day. It should be. I've had this conversation before. In 3 or 4 years' time, I think Everton women should be playing in a brand new stadium, not at Goodison Park, really. Because if they're not going to really do massive upkeep on that stadium, then they're going to have problems in that stadium. So I think concerts, obviously we all want concerts.
Yeah.
I think England women playing there, or any kind of international, I think, any kind of like Brazil men's playing, anyone would be massively attractive. We see them occasionally having like tours.
Yeah.
And
Liverpool had Brazil before, like recently.
yeah, I was there. Yeah, Brazil versus Croatia, in 2018.
Yeah.
They had Brazil played there. Yeah, because occasionally they will play games in Europe ahead of like tournaments and stuff. So the whole team doesn't have to go all the way back to Brazil, and they'll stay here. So I saw that. So it's about taking those games off them, I think. And no, it is though. That's the point. That's what you were saying before. We've got no given right to just go, wow, look at our stadium. We should get all the big events now. We have to prove it. We have to have the events. That's why having a women's game at Goodison, an international game, would just be so stupid to me. It has to be a Hill Dickinson. You have to prove you can put these. And what you said before about the women's game, that disappoints me, that you walk out of there feeling like it was a sort of like second class
It wasn't a good
experience.
representation.
Yeah, I don't think that's good to hear things like that. The club might have all kinds of excuses why. Well, there's lower capacity, but if you walked out there with a different experience to what you do to the men's games, I don't think that's right. I think that has to be top class, because if we want to move forward and have all of these great events, we've got to make sure that every time we hold anything, whether it be lower than 20,000 or above 50,000, they have to be top class.
Yeah.
I
agree, yeah.
More in from John.
Go on.
He said the fella who said about promoters don't like Anfield is the biggest promoter in the country. And he said he'd love to be the booking agent for it because it's an easy place to sell due to the location.
Yeah, that's all really good. But at the same time, what I'm saying is it doesn't have a God-given right to hold anything. And also, at the end of the season, when the Etihad is fixed, Etihad will be trying to get concerts. So the Etihad, so you think of someone like Oasis, which would sell out wherever it goes. They're gonna play the Etihad 5 or 6 nights. They're not gonna play Anfield. They're not gonna play Hill Dickinson, I imagine.
Yeah.
They'll play the Etihad 6 nights back home in Manchester. And if you want to go and see Oasis, you're gonna have to go and see them. So we're going to have to deal with that as well. We're gonna have to deal with. Because that's why Anfield's had so many gigs in the last 2 or 3 years, because the Etihad's been getting fixed.
Yeah.
It's been getting, increase in the stands. So it's going to be harder and harder. So it's, we're going to have to work really hard to pull people in, I think.
Yeah. I agree.
There you go. Taylor's just gone off on a completely different subject and said, just a quick one. Do you reckon Diblin might need an arm around the shoulder or some help to settle? Since what happened the last time he left Southampton, he doesn't look that thrilled so far, but could be overthinking it. So he moved to Chelsea when he was a little bit younger, Tyler Diblin, and he moved back within 3 months because he was homesick.
Yeah.
But that happened like about 2 years ago. So you're someone who's lived away from home.
Yeah.
Did you need an arm around your shoulders?
I moved away at 16 and I nearly dropped out of uni because I was so unhappy. And the only reason why I
16?
didn't...
So you go to uni?
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit young?
It's drama school, so it doesn't really count as uni. And and I nearly dropped out, but my dad said he wouldn't pick me up. And I didn't understand how to work the trains. So
to work the trains?
I didn't know how to
That you thought you had to literally
No,
drive
I didn't
the
know
train.
how I didn't know how to book a train ticket. I didn't know how to get from Brighton to London to Liverpool. I didn't know how to do any of that. I didn't really have the money to buy a ticket. And my dad was like, I'm not getting you.
Fair.
You're staying there.
Tough love, that's what we like.
Yeah. So, but I did have a lot of people around me to make sure I was okay. Yeah.
Network.
And I'm sure Diblin does have that.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does.
Has his family not moved with him? Has he moved by himself?
I can't confirm or deny
Well,
that.
yeah, no, okay. I guess that was more of a rhetorical question.
They may have, or someone may have, or he might have brought, friends. That's what happens occasionally. You're right. People bring, especially when they come from abroad, they'll bring the family.
Yeah.
Paul Davies says, even when we lived in caves, Liverpool were weird thing to say when they're the champions. Mark Mack says, do we need to look at the women's team manager? Brian Sorensen's win record is 30%.
We should look at.
That's definitely bad.
It's in a question I didn't want to ask. I don't really want to talk about it, but I am at the point where it's like, we just need. I don't want to be mean. I never want to be mean about anyone, but I just feel like he's had his time and we need to move on to someone else. Don't know who, to be honest, but
there was a guy who could have done it. He's an Everton fan. He used to run. Nick Cushing's his name. He used to be the Manchester City women's manager.
Yeah.
And then he went over to New York and he was the New York City FC manager, the men's.
Yeah.
And he lost his job last summer. And he's a big Everton fan from Chester. And he would have been perfect. Everton should have just gone for him in the summer. Really should have gone for him because he was out of work. But now he's got another job in America. And he would have been absolutely perfect because not only is he an Evertonian, but he was the Manchester City manager. So he's got pedigree.
Yeah.
So Everton should have moved for him. I think they should have been cutthroat and said, if it's going to be a new era.
That's what we miss, though.
Yeah.
We don't have that cutthroat mentality. Even when we're playing, we're not aggressive. We don't have any of that.
Again, I don't want to sound disrespectful here. Do you think, is that have you noticed any of that missing in the women's game compared to the men's game, where maybe people are given a little bit longer, or players are endured a little bit longer, rather than, because there's obviously a different spirit to the women's game. It's there's a lot less anger, it feels, towards it. It's a lot more family orientated.
I don't think that women's play is like...
No, well, not the players. The players, don't get me wrong, right?
Okay.
The players are hard as nails.
Yeah.
When I've watched women's games, there's a lot less diving.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more like...
That's what I was going to go into. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think there is definitely that aggression in women's football. I think it's more of an Everton problem.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a men's thing.
Yeah.
Because I also feel like Everton men's team has kind of been missing that aggression until this season. You see like James Garner getting a bit more like, not rough, I don't know what the word is, but like, do you get what I mean? I feel like
no, but do you think
it's always been a problem for Everton, not just women's football.
In the game itself, like do managers get more time in the women's game than maybe?
Do you think that? Are you saying they're more lenient with the managers?
Like because
there's less of a caliber of well-known.
Because there's less. No, I would say because there's less of a spotlight and there's less money, isn't there, for a start? There's less money in there, so there's less spotlight. There's less pressure in terms of like the outside world. Of course, there's pressure within their own club, like the fan bases. I know people who are in the Everton women's supporters club, and you know, I know how angry they get about the whole thing. It's not like just it's Everton women's. But I don't know, and that's the question. That's the question I suppose I'm asking, is like whether managers get more time, because
I do think they are more lenient towards women's managers, because I feel like they are harder to come across, to be honest.
Yeah, there's
like a really good,
of course,
women's football manager. It is hard. So I do get where you're coming from, and I think we have been too nice. We have been too nice to Brien. I feel. I think he has done a relatively good job, but this season
by now, if he was,
I think it would have been. This season would have been a good time to start fresh, new stadium, new signings, new manager, tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
But they've thought, no, we're going to bring our old manager to welcome the new stadium, and he just has not done a good job of it.
I can't imagine
at all.
Can't imagine he's gonna.
But it would have been a great look to have had the manager that's taken them from Walton Hall Park to Goodison, and he's done such an amazing job and like transformed the squad. That would have looked great, and I think that's even what like Seamus Coleman kind of wanted. Like he wanted to bring Everton from Goodison to Hill Dickinson, even though like it's kind of like that pride of like, I did this, I've been with them through everything, and I've brought them here, and it just hasn't paid off.
I suppose he's been rewarded for how well he did with having no money last year, because basically the women's team over the last 18 months has been stripped to the bone. They have suffered, and they have suffered more than anyone. And I know as like men's, the like majority of people are like, you know, might just only ever watch Everton men's team. We thought we had it bad, but the women's team was literally stripped to the bone of players. It was like everyone got sold. And, you know, they invested.
You see it all the time. Like, I'm sorry, we've just released the England squad, and so many of the players started their career at Everton. It's so funny.
Yeah, no,
and like,
of course, it's always been the way, hasn't it? Everton have always been that feeder club for everyone else.
Yeah.
The England teams have always been dominated by players who started their careers at Everton. And so I suppose in many ways he was given the benefit of the doubt just to take it forward. But I do believe now that if they're going to do it properly, there has to be a reality check.
Yeah.
And there has to be like, if we're going to try and be the best, we need to go and get a really good cut. I know what I would say is they have tried that before and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
So they have to have the mindset.
And that's probably why they have kept him. But I think from this season so far, it's proving that it's not working.
It is.
And so there's only one thing really you can change, and I feel like it's him.
Yeah, well, like from everything you've already said. Luke Keeley says he used to love Sayers. There is still one near his house in Blackpool. I think it's one of the only ones remaining.
There's one.
Yeah,
literally
My mum works for Sayers.
There you go.
Shut up.
Yeah. James's mum works for Sayers.
And there's one opposite Tesco Extra by me. Yeah. And I go there.
Your mum's like living the dream. I picture your mum going into like Willy Wonka's factory every morning. Yeah. You and your mum and the Oompa Loompas just making like steak bakes.
Yeah.
Is that what you get?
No, I haven't been to a Sayers for years. Body's a temple.
Spat.
Very simple.
Okay.
Can't run 10Ks like me if you're going to be filling your face with sayers.
Just chocolate milk and Huel.
Chocolate milk is the key to everything. I've told you this.
You have.
That's why you've come in tired, because you didn't have your chocolate milk.
I do look so tired, I can see.
I didn't say you look tired. I said you are tired. See, you're the one you're the one who was like, oh, look at my face.
I never said you said that. I said that.
Jay Ratcliffe says Oasis apparently doing shows next year. Would be great to have them. Wonder if we could take the Super League final off Old Trafford, considering it's falling apart. Of course, McCartney would be the cherry on top. Paul McCartney would be the cherry on top. He's the one I want. You're looking at me like that, but I will look back at you like that.
I'm just listening to what you're saying.
Why, when you look like you're listening, do you look like Maleficent?
Maleficent?
That's a name, yeah. See, I said it. I just say it with a little bit of a...
You said Maleficent?
Yeah, exactly. That's how you say it.
Maleficent.
Maleficent, that's what I've just said. That's literally what I've just said, Maleficent.
Okay. I don't think I look at you like that.
Would you like to see Paul McCartney play at the Hill Dickinson Stadium? Would you like to see Paul McCartney play anywhere?
To be honest, I don't. No, he's not really my style. If I could, like, I wouldn't say no. If someone said like, "Oh, do you want to come with me?" I'd say yeah, but I wouldn't like get in the queue to buy a ticket. Do you get?
Sorry for one. Charlie Walters. No one has ever made a more wrong statement in their life. No one. There's no one on this planet or has ever lived who's ever made a more wrong statement than what you just said.
He said?
He said Paul McCartney's overrated.
I'm trying to think of Paul McCartney songs.
Like every single Beatles song.
Oh yeah.
Paul McCartney.
No, but he's not performing as the Beatles. Is he singing Beatles songs?
Of course he does. Paul McCartney is the greatest living artist we have. You can snigger all you want. That can't be argued. He is the greatest. Every single artist that lives now is because of him.
Okay.
And he's also one of the greatest artists ever, dead or alive. It's like if Beethoven came back on tour, you'd probably just have to go and see him just because he's Beethoven. Honestly, if there's one thing I can pass on to people is, if you get a chance to see Paul McCartney, just go. Honestly, just go, whether you like him or you don't like him.
Does he do 4 or 5 seconds?
4 or 5 seconds.
Just plays the guitar.
He does
the Kanye West song.
It's sad. That's sad. You know what?
Oh, it's a joke.
It's sad. It's sad that you bring
good song, though.
Racist Nazis onto my show.
Kanye West is a racist.
He is a massive racist Nazi.
I didn't bring that. I just said the song that Paul McCartney wrote.
I know. I'm just saying, this Kanye West is... I hope Kanye West...
I think I've had enough.
I hope Kanye West tweets me and has a go at me. No, yeah, you have... Honestly, if you get a chance to see Paul McCartney, you have to go and see him, whether you like him or not. It's just a fact. Mark says, do you reckon someone like Big Dunk could take over the women's team, or do you think the transition from men's to women's football,
I would love that.
That would be tremendous.
I genuinely would love that.
That would elevate the game so much.
Yeah, and I think so many people would come to watch, and I think he would do that.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like paying the players' wages at one point for
Forest Green?
Yeah.
No, not a Forest Green.
Wasn't it?
No.
Somewhere. I genuinely think he would. I think he would do that. I reckon you should email him.
Inverness.
Inbox him. Say, I think you should. I think he'd be great. Or like maybe even, I don't know.
No, Daniel Barton, it literally is fact. It's not my opinion. It literally is fact.
Going back to Paul McCartney.
That Paul McCartney is the greatest living artist on the planet. That's just fact. It's just fact. No, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Eddie says, howdy, do y'all know how to watch the women's game in the US? No, because we're not in the US, Eddie.
You can watch it on YouTube, surely.
Might be geo-blocked.
Can you get a VPN and say that you're in?
It sounds highly illegal, and that's not something we promote on this channel. Unless they're sponsoring us, of course. If a VPN... Why do you look so shocked?
You're accusing me of talking about things that are illegal.
No, it's illegal.
You know what's illegal? Me talking about gambling. That's apparently against the rules.
You must stop immediately then. VPNs are things that we can't talk about unless VPN companies pay us money to talk about them.
I didn't say like a specific
know.
company.
It is illegal it is sort of illegal though to watch things on a VPN, sort of, in a sort of world. But I don't know. Surely there's an American. Surely you've got WSL in America. Surely
It's on Sky Sports. Does Sky Sports work? And I don't understand how things work. You're laughing at me. I'm asking
not
a question.
laughing at you. I'm just pulling faces. No, VPNs aren't illegal. I didn't say VPNs are illegal.
It's on the Pop TV streaming app.
There you go. There you
I don't
go.
know what that means, but that's what Google says.
Well, the Americans will of course know what that means because they're American.
Pop TV.
Oh wait, they buy ESPN though. I don't know. One of them.
There you go. Absolutely. Jay Ratcliffe, and Jay, I'm 100% with you on this, and I'd like the people's opinions in the room as well. Is anyone else angered like me that fireworks have been let off really early this year? It's weird. The other night, my dog ran into the living room and
Oh no. I can imagine the end of that sentence. I heard fireworks going off around mine today at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm not even messing.
Yeah.
Like 10, 11 a.m. Someone was letting off fireworks.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Might have had the big celebration.
Yeah, maybe it was like a gender reveal or something.
Yeah, or just like
They really like breakfast.
That's a late breakfast. It's like a brunch.
Yeah.
Brunch.
It's a
Yeah.
breakfast. 10 a.m. is a breakfast, James. Come on. Real world. I think
She said that on me.
she said brunch.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Your tone suggested like you were telling him off.
No,
I think that's just your natural tone towards James.
I'm agreeing with James. That's breakfast. I believe fireworks should be banned.
No, I love fireworks. I want them at my wedding. So
No,
you can't ban them.
I genuinely still can't believe we live in a society that allows people to walk into a shop and basically hand over money for gunpowder.
A girl my brother knew in like sixth form, someone let off a firework and it got stuck in her top. And it like went off under her top, and she had like really bad burns all over her body. It's really bad.
Yeah, I genuinely can't believe we allow.
I don't think they should be available to like shops.
Public people.
Yeah.
No,
I agree with that.
Don't get me wrong. If you go to like Disneyland, or you can, or like they should be like, you should have to have licenses for them so you can do events.
I agree
like
with
Charlotte's wedding.
Yeah, so I would happily pay for someone with a firework license to do a firework display at my wedding, which is gonna happen at some point, and like New Year's Eve and bonfire night. You go to displays in like public places, but I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to just have them in your back garden. But my mum loves setting off fireworks.
Feels like she just likes fireworks. Mark says, bring back the Home Nations tournament. It can be hosted at Hill, Dickinson, Anfield, Goodison and Prenton Park. No, sounds terrible. Daniel Gellerman says, just wonder with us selling the women's team, so both teams are separate clubs under Roundhouse Capital, how did the stadium profit split for the women at the men's game? I don't think any of us in this room have got that information.
We sold the women's team.
Yeah, the women's team was sold.
Oh.
Did you not get the memo?
No.
Okay.
I thought, I don't know. I don't understand those types of things. I'm just really good at like cooking and cleaning.
No, but why have you just like said that? So that's
it was a joke.
I know it's a joke, but the way you said it didn't necessarily feel like it was a joke.
It was meant as a
joke. Give it a little bit more oomph. Dave Walker says George Harrison was better than Paul in my opinion. There's an issue with that, mate. George Harrison is very much dead. That's the issue.
He's not arguing that he's alive. He's just saying that he's better than Paul.
But I said living.
You also did say.
One of.
Okay.
One of.
Locked in.
One of.
I've locked in.
Not just. I said one off. You know. There needs to be like a battle of the bands in heaven one day. If that place exists, if that's what you're into. James Green says some of the things I can make with fireworks are unbelievable. What
sounds a bit scary.
That sounds really scary, doesn't
Maybe
it?
it just means you make nice displays.
I'd hope so.
That sounds scary.
I do love a firework display. I do.
Have you ever been to a Disney firework display?
Yeah.
They're just the greatest.
I performed in Disneyland at school.
Yeah, but you also
Yeah.
decided not
Did
to
you go
be
to
cap.
school?
Where?
Yeah.
I went Archbishop Blanche.
Yeah,
And
they're always knocking around in Disneyland performing.
We had ABS choir.
Wow.
Yeah. We performed there.
But the caveat to that is you also decided not to be Captain Marvel.
I'm amazed at the stuff you remember. Like, genuinely.
How could anyone forget that?
Me? I barely remember that I did that.
This is the difference in the generations. Your brains are just like flooded with TikToks and Instagrams, so you're just instantly forgetting things. Where
Yeah.
I remember stuff like that.
And you remember stuff from the 60s.
I remember all the details that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you never went to become Captain Marvel because you were too tall to be a Disney princess.
Yeah.
And you couldn't.
I wanted to be Cinderella. I wasn't settling for anything.
Were you
less than
more
Cinderella.
annoyed that you couldn't be Cinderella? So therefore was like, I'm not going to
I'm
be.
kind of like boycotting you, yeah.
I feel like that jeopardizes your own career. Because that sounds like if you set your heart on being like the main character in a film or a play or whatever, and you didn't get it, and they were like, right, we don't think you're right for this character, but we do think you're right for her best
But we are
friend.
talking about Disneyland, where I would just like get photos with kids and stuff.
But it's money. It's work.
Yeah.
You said it was only going to be a couple of months.
Yeah, it was only 2 months.
Isn't that what you mean, like a couple
would
of
have
months?
had to, like,
what did you do in that couple of
relocate.
months?
Gosh.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Whereas you'd be sitting here now going, yeah, I worked in Disneyland for 2 months. I was Captain Marvel. I made all these kids really, really happy.
Yeah,
I
I
had
was
a boss time.
overworked and underpaid at Disneyland.
Jeez, it was 2 months of your life. That would be an amazing experience.
And I'll never know.
You'll never know, and you'll never get that opportunity again because they're not banging on the door with Captain Marvel offers anymore, are they?
No.
No.
Were you banging on the door in the first place?
Hardly banging on the door.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Oui, oui.
Why would they be saying yes?
I don't know French.
No, I think that was me
That's
saying
the most
yes.
basic of French. The most basic of French. Come on. Did you not go to school?
Did Spanish. She did Spanish at
And I
school.
failed Spanish. So
And in Spanish, do some Spanish. No, Spanish.
failed it.
I need to start learning Spanish.
I got a 3.
You got a 3. I got a 7 in French.
Wax.
What are these numbers?
You don't
Oh,
do A's in it anymore.
gosh, yeah, no, they don't do.
Would they hurt your feelings? Is that why? No, genuinely, is that why?
What? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
they're my
So what's it up
feelings.
to? 10?
Yeah, just
Oh,
letters are really offensive now.
That's yeah, but someone probably did decide that. I'm not saying they are, but I bet you someone did decide that letters were
No,
offensive.
but like, so with the number 8, is that more or less than the number 1? It's more in it. Whereas
yeah, I get that.
A is not more than the letter D. It's just at the beginning of the
That
alphabet.
makes so much more sense. I thought it was just
You just get more. Don't pull that face, because that does make sense.
Only if like
I just made like a relatively valid point.
You made a valid point in a society that's
You said I made a valid point.
No. You make loads of valid points. What we don't do on this channel is just applaud each other every time we make valid points. We just have a conversation. No, but what I'm saying is you've also decided that for some reason number 10 is better than number 1.
I never said it was better. I just said it was more.
Greater than.
It's higher.
So then, okay, yeah, but you might be hurting number 1's feelings, and number 1 would be like,
Now you're talking about his
hang on,
feelings.
and number 1 would be like, you can't have a number 10 without a number 1 in it.
Head's gone woke.
Do you know what I mean?
Also, the 10 isn't in the grading system. It just goes to 9.
Only goes to 9, so you're leaving 10 out. 10's like that. What have I done wrong? You gang of bastards. Mark Cody said, when did you go to Dublin looking for Seamus's jersey, Ped? Like 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, Friday. Just went over to Dublin for the day. It was good.
Did you see Seamus Coleman on a Ryanair flight? I thought that was really funny. There's a photo of him.
Yeah, it does.
Next to,
He flies, yeah.
yeah. And like he was like, oh, look who I'm sat next to on my Ryanair flight, and it's just Seamus Coleman.
He's a man of the
Oh, it's
people.
really
He's a
funny.
man of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a man of the people. James Warland said Everton's team or men's team will have rented to women's team so that the PSR uplift on income for men's team and no negative for the women's, as the rent won't go their PSR if women's league have PSR. Women's league doesn't have PSR. That's why we sold Goodison to the women's team in the first place.
Okay.
There you go. Benjamin, that's a negative. That's a negative. That's a negative. We don't need to say negatives.
What's that?
Nothing. Daniel Church. It's about my hair.
Oh.
What?
I kind of want to hear it now.
It wasn't.
So what was it about?
I'm not saying it. We can move on. Daniel Church has watched all the Toffees Room 101. All were good, but I loved yours, Ped, especially talking about them across Stanley Park. Thank you, Daniel. I'm sure Charlotte will do one soon, and I'm sure it'll be equally as good. Boney?
Yeah.
Charlie?
That'd be so good.
Mine's good because I put a video out, a 21-second video,
Just ranting about drivers.
and it's had 115,000 views.
Yeah.
And people are losing their mind about it because they don't know what I'm talking about and can't be bothered just to go and watch a 15-minute video and find out what I'm talking about.
But that like attention span you were talking about before, that's why.
Have I
like,
captured it perfectly in that moment?
Yeah.
Maybe we should just do 21-second videos of just no context, no context chatting.
Yeah.
Start shouting.
People love watching just men be angry about
I'll be honest.
irrelevant
I
things.
should maybe start my own 21-second channel then,
Yeah.
because I
Just like ped clips.
have that emotion. Blue Jay says A is the first in the alphabet, hence why it's the highest grade. A number system for grades is a disgrace.
I love how passionate you are about this.
As
I don't think
Dyche
it.
says, woke nonsense.
Oh gosh, woke.
I lost the
nonsense.
plot when they changed all the things in school. Like when they started going year 6 and year 8 and year 9. I was like, what? I still don't get my head around that. I still like, what's year 6?
What did it used to be?
Used to just be like your classes within, so like
You just turned up.
fourth year in junior school would be year 6 for you.
Yeah.
So instead of having one big continuous thing, we had separate. So
I feel like one continuous thing though does make more sense.
it does, but I didn't say it didn't. What I said was I just lost. I was like, what? I can
That
still.
kind of you're saying different things, but I feel like they mean the same. Do you get what I mean? Like you're getting lost and you don't get it.
No, it's because it doesn't really matter to me. So when I always
It
have to.
sounds like it does.
No, it doesn't. But so when someone says, "Oh, what year are they in?" and they go, "Oh, they're in year 7," I'm like, I can never. It doesn't come to me straight away because I didn't experience it.
Yeah,
and
like my mum calls GCSEs O levels still. and stuff
exactly.
like
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. People have different ways of processing stuff because if there isn't a need to think about it, I never have to think about like what a year. So when someone brings it up, it's a bit like. So to me, it's like it was all. You have literally just told. That's the first I've ever heard. That's how they score exams now. Literally.
Yeah, it doesn't really affect your life.
It doesn't affect me
so it
one
shouldn't
bit.
warrant getting so upset.
No, I'm not bothered. I don't get upset about things that have nothing to do with me. If people stopped getting upset about things that don't matter to them, the world would be such a better place.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Like that person in the comments who was like,
that's what I was gonna say. He seems
that person in the comments
he,
who's
she,
just
they. I don't know.
had a go at you for not knowing about trains, which I didn't want to read. What's that?
Okay, I was 16 years
Well, no, but
old.
the point being
and
is-
I'm supposed to know how to get from Brighton to Liverpool by the train.
It doesn't really
Sorry,
matter.
I
does
didn't
it?
like work in
No,
the
but that's
mines
the point,
as well,
isn't it?
and like
it doesn't actually affect anybody else but you and your family.
no. But I love that I have that impact on that person.
We all have that impact. I have
Day.
that impact every single day on people, and that's the beauty of what we do. And I love it. Mark Max says the most evident thing would be to try and get Paul McCartney and end up with Ringo. No more letters. Thrown them away. You've never seen that video. It's brilliant. When he's getting too much fan, he's getting too much
fan mail.
fan mail, and he's like, from now on, I'm tossing it in the bin. I will not be answering. And he has to have a big rant about getting fan mail. And it's like, you're getting fan mail, mate. Be glad that people still remember who you are. Tremendous stuff. Jay Ratcliffe says Lionesses played at the King Power just before the Euros.
King Power.
It's Leicester's ground.
Oh, okay. So I'm probably going to get cancelled.
Jay
for not knowing
Ratcliffe's
the
from
ground.
Leicester, so anything that happens in Leicester, he always lets us know. He's our Leicester correspondent.
Okay.
He just keeps us updated with like the Leicester scene. I think that's like massively important for people who live in Liverpool. And also, you live on by Lark Lane. You've got it all. They were probably set fireworks off just to tell people that they just done a lovely new cake in what's that place called?
Lunco.
Yeah, Lunco.
They're closed today. They only open.
You can't have them every day.
What's Lunco?
Lunco's like
It's like a posh bakery.
It's a bakery, but it's like
It's so no. You do actually need to go.
It's like change your life bakery.
Like, oh yeah. Well, we could do like a Toffee TV trip.
I mean, to be honest, I've only ever got something from there once.
Yeah, I've only been there once, and I live around the corner. It's really good.
Because the old me would live there.
Yeah.
Would move down to Lark Lane just to be next to that bakery.
It's really good.
It's like amazing. Like amazing.
Walker.
Like queues down. It's one of those places where they're like there's queues, and if they don't just like when they sell out, and that's the end of it. So if they sell out at 9 o'clock, they shut at 9 o'clock. That's the end of it.
Wow.
It's really good.
Fancy.
That's fancy.
Your mum would lose her mind. She'd be like,
Your mum would probably like be like, what's this? What do you mean you don't have to wait till 6?
"What do you mean? There's a crookie? Like,
awful.
there's a crookie. What is a crookie?
What's a crookie?
Croissant cookie.
Yeah, croissant cookie, man.
That can't work. That's two different consistencies.
Unreal. It's unreal. Genuinely, so good.
But when they shut, you can go onto Lark Lane and
Go Grand Cafe.
Grand Cafe, which is an Italian place. Which they've got one in. They've got a big one in town.
Gosh, we'll go. And there's also
Let's go on a day trip to Lark Lane.
There's another Petit Cafe, and they do the famous like hot chocolate.
Oh yeah,
Petit
these are all
Cafe.
Instagram
Yeah.
stuff. I run past that last week.
You run. Really?
Don't you fucking start. Don't you start. I am the only person, right, who gets shamed for having a hobby.
I didn't shame you. I was just
Felt like you were shaming me. Felt like you were using the words that
if we want
use.
to talk about shaming each other, Ped.
You didn't know Bobby Moore was? I can't help that you didn't know Bobby. I'm not going to do it again.
How long have we got left?
No, we haven't got long, actually, because Adam should be here in a
Yeah,
minute.
he's here. Probably.
Right, we are finishing up now. Anyway, that's you know what? That's what we should do. Maybe not this week, but next week when you come in, we can all go in James's car. Right, he can drop you off,
driver.
and we can go up Lark Lane, and we can go in the Grand place, whatever it's called, or go to the hot chocolate and just have a little hour where we just have a sit down.
So cute.
And then just James can drive us back. We continue work. You can go home. And it would just be. And the greatest thing about it is you'd only have to buy a single ticket, so you'd be saving money.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a benefit, but that balances out that you're buying all the drinks and food.
I'm buying all the drinks and food.
That would bankrupt you, wouldn't it?
Genuinely, yeah, probably.
I feel like your parents are teaching you tough life lessons. And
No, they do, but they have offered to help me. I'm like, no, because I'm able to work. I can't work weekends right now, and all bar restaurant jobs need weekend availability. But end of November, I'm gonna get back into it.
Cool.
And probably just miss all the matches, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, we're going. I've got to do something, and Charlotte's got to think about how to raise money. If you want to help Charlotte raise some money, let us know your thoughts in the comments. See you later. Bye.